watching and listening to Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and your favourite podcasts.
Right, Chris.
All right, hello, just waving back at Kate. How are we doing? Welcome along. A bit of an early one today to try and fit Kate in. She's on a lunch hour, so we're not going to mess about. We're going to go straight to it, but I'm going to start with some breaking news, and that breaking news is Ivan Toney is not coming to Leicester. But Kate is. We'll get her in after this. I will bring her in. There she is. Hello, Kate.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Sorry, I was making sure my camera was clean.
Why? What have you been doing to make it dirty?
No, let's just not go there.
No.
It's not my usual computer.
Won't mention the fact that you're working from home either, because that years ago that meant something different as well. Hey, welcome. Confusing. It's deadline day. This came up earlier on Sky. I don't know if you've seen this. I mean, if you're working from home on deadline day like I used to, then you got one screen up checking Sky Sports. But Leicester not planning any more incomings. This was from Sky News' Kirsty Edwards, who we've just seen at the ground.
Okay.
Leicester understood to be very happy with yesterday's edition of Bilal El Khannouss, and what he adds to their attacking options. As things stand, they're not expecting any more incomings today, but not ruling the possibility out if an opportunity that's right for them becomes available. Some outgoings expected with Tom Cannon attracting a lot of interest from the Championship. First of all, it looks like Tom Cannon's on his way. Oxford is a possible destination.
Oh, wow, is he? Oxford, okay. I've had Stoke as well.
Yes. Whether that comes off or not, he's not in the manager's plans. Whether we want to see him or not, the manager obviously, he's seen him in training, he sees him every day. There's something that he and Enzo doesn't like, whether that's a long-term injury or not. So, I think we've got to accept that he probably is on the way. Yeah. But if he goes, this is an attacking midfielder we've got. Yes, we've got Jordan Ayew, who scored a fantastic goal the other night. But I don't want to go into this season with Vardy, Ayew and Daka as we main three options up front. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think it shows maybe that we've had to evolve the formation and structure we're going to play, because we might not even play a striker. Man City did it, right? For a while.
I don't think we're quite Man City, though, are we?
I know, but it's obviously... it's got to be one of those ones that's considered. Vardy will feature, but I can't see him featuring maybe more than 2/3 of either games or time. So it's just making sure that those in the background, like your Caseys, this El Khannouss, and your Jordan Ayews, they can provide sufficient, and Mavadidi, of course, can provide sufficient goals to hopefully plug the gap that we seem to be missing.
Well, about 40 minutes ago, having said all that, on Leicestershire Live, they are saying that there's a Mustafa Mohammed, that's as opposed to, Mustafa Wee, which is just my age, who's the nonce, and Egypt striker is now being linked. That's coming via L'Equipe. He's completely, if he does sign, left field.
Where's he based? Where's he at the minute?
Nonce.
Oh, okay.
But he scored 19 in 80 games across all competitions for Nantes. And I'm just looking here. He's got he's top goal scorer in France, under 23 Africa Cup winner, Egyptian champion, Egyptian Cup winner, Egyptian Super Cup winner. Salah's not done bad coming from Egypt, has he?
No, not at all. I'd be surprised if we sign anybody, to be honest. The last day of deadline never really goes that well for us. We don't seem to be great. I say we don't seem to be great. From what we know, we're not super great at turning things around quickly. And 12 hours left now or 11 hours left. So I'm not, unless something was already in the pipeline. But I don't think Cooper ruled out any more incomings. So,
well, that's just, in fairness, that's just what Linda Janetta has said on the Facebook group. I mean, I posted that because that came up on Sky. But I just hope if we do sign this guy from Egypt, that it's not part of a pyramid scheme.
very good.
Thank you.
I've just seen here as well, I think it's Oxford as well, that Ben Nelson's supposed to be going out on loan to Oxford.
That's what I was meaning.
Oh, okay.
I was getting me Nelsons and me Cannons mixed up.
Yeah, so I think Ben Nelson's going out on loan to Oxford,
yes,
from what I'm seeing.
Which is fair enough. I mean, we're not short in that department, are we? And
they've had a great start to the season in the Championship. I've caught a few of their highlights, and they look a really decent attacking outfit, actually. Really quite exciting to watch.
Look, we're here to talk about one player. I got me pyramid joking about Mustafa Mohammed. I'm getting me Casablanca joking about this gentleman. Of all the clubs in all the leagues in all the world, he walks into ours. Please tell me you know what I'm referring to.
No, I've got no idea what you're referring to.
Absolutely. Oh, fantastic. Have you never watched Casablanca?
No.
Play it again, Sam.
Well, I know that bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's from Casablanca. Which Casablanca is in?
Don't know.
Morocco.
Okay.
And this guy is from?
Morocco.
Yes. Oh, God.
Well, that's a tenuous link there, isn't it?
No, he's from
Morocco.
Morocco.
He happens to be from Morocco. You've then jumped to Casablanca and then said play it again, Sam. That's a very...
Look, I couldn't think of anything to fit in with a camel.
Not the first time you've said that, is it?
No, it's not. I've always managed before. Anyway, we'll move on because you've given me the hump now. It's bad, isn't it? It's bad. What do you think of this guy? What do you think of him?
Yeah, he sounds quite exciting. I mean, I've just been looking at him here. He's had like over 50 appearances for Genk. And I think the only thing that's, I suppose, slightly concerning, and this is just me being picky, is that he's not going to be super, super experienced, is he? He obviously got a lot of game time last year, which is really encouraging because Genk aren't a bad team at all. They finished like 7th in the Belgian league last year, above Club Brugge, who have been regular Champions League participants. So they're not a bad club at all. So to use him was great. I'm just a bit disappointed in his goals, but I didn't actually have his assists. I don't know what his assists were like last year, which I suppose is more important for him. But yeah, he seems to have a really good pedigree. He obviously switched allegiances from Belgium to Morocco a couple of years ago, probably just to get international game time, which I can't blame him because that Belgian squad is pretty strong. And I'm excited. We've got him on a permanent. It's a lot of money, but I think you have to go into those kind of positions with that kind of money in your pocket. Let's fingers crossed. Does all right. The only thing I'm sad about is he's got Albrighton's shirt.
Yes. I really hope Albrighton makes an appearance at the weekend. It would be a perfect game for him. I mean, I know he did it at the Blackburn game, but to show up, because I was speaking to a Villa fan last night on the preview, and it's still available on LTID TV One. They love him. They still couldn't believe that they actually sold him, but they didn't want him to go. They love him, and I think he'd get a really good reception. But just showing there, last season he got 6 assists.
Okay. What does he
So the two full, bless you, the two full seasons that he's had 11 assists and 4 goals, which for midfield isn't the best, but it's not the worst. He does like a yellow card. That's the thing. He has picked up 13 yellow cards over the 2 seasons. But
that's quite a lot, really. I don't mind that. I like a bit of feistiness. I think we need more Hamzas on the pitch, to be honest, in that regard. Stick one on them. Let them know you're there.
And look, I'm not saying Leicester are going to get back into Europe anytime soon, but he has had Europa and Champions League experience as well. I mean, for me, look, we've got Buenete in, who's obviously got Premier League experience. Youngish, but older than, I forget how old he is now, but he's older than 20. I see this guy as coming in and being eased into the squad Because when you've got Winks and when you've got Skip, you've got a hell of a lot of experience there.
Yeah, I think Buonanot's only 19.
Is he? Right.
Yeah, so we've got some youngsters.
But he is. But I've been complaining about Jordan Ayew's 75 and Dakova Reed.
You look like that at 75, Chris. You'll be doing all right for yourself.
I was never like that when I was 25. And we've also obviously got Cordova Reed, who is that end of the scale, shall we say. So for me, it's great to bring somebody in. But what he hasn't got, like I say, let's say Premier League experience, Brunetti has. I mean, he had all last season, and that performance against Tottenham was brilliant. And I think, having that option there, to ease him in, because we probably won't be able to keep Brunetti as much as we'd love to.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to. Well, I say that. I hope my hope and my glass half full is that he has a great season. Brighton have a great season. Don't need him.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You can have him. And he wants to stay. So that would be an ideal situation. But these young kids, and especially if they're young with experience, which we've not been able to recruit that well in that regard, where they've got proper experience in playing a good level of football, is really exciting. They've got a point to prove. Buonanot still wants to make his mark on the Premier League. So does this chap, because it's his first time in the Premier League. And hopefully they'll help each other, really. They'll be in competition a bit. But also, link-ups with Mavadidi, who's not that old either, and Fata, who's the same kind of age. We've got some real young talent that, could set us up for a bit, really, if they turn out to be good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the good thing. And, I was reading somewhere, and I can't remember where it was, and they were sort of saying that, a lot of Leicester fans were kind of sort of, I mean, I didn't expect us to do this much business, to be honest with you. I thought we'd be maybe a couple of loanies in with the PSR. But, then all these players, Ipswich are buying Schmodic and all these sort of players. But we've gone for a bit of experience as well. Skip experience, Dakova Reed Premier League experience, Ayew Premier League experience. I mean, that goal that Ayew got the other day, if he can do that every couple of weeks, I'd be more than happy.
Yeah, but it's just his genuine demeanour. Like I said to you the other night, you can tell he's a complete experienced pro. Like the way he wins fouls, the way he carries himself about, he's just really economical with the ball. He knows when to hold it up against the byline. He knows how to hold up the defender, and it comes with ease. Which is really good to see, because really we've only kind of got Vardy in that part of the pitch that has that experience, and it just comes from life, doesn't it? You can't really teach it any other way. He's just been there, done it, and bought the t-shirt, and that would be great for coaxing these youngsters through. It's quite depressing, I bet, for Vardy that these kids are like literally half his age. It shows what an amazing guy Vardy is to still be up there competing with them. So,
God, yes.
I think we've got a good mix. We'd love another striker, but we'd love another striker, but they're so hard to come by.
Yes,
they're so hard to come by.
Yes, and look, we've got to think. I mean, Popov came on at the weekend against Tranmere midweek. He had his Gascoigne moment. If he'd literally just been 6 more inches further upfield, he'd have probably got a goal.
And I liked his interview after. Actually, he said he was so desperate for it, like. He almost felt he was trying too hard. Do you know what I mean? He's like, I know it will come. I just got so excited about being on the pitch, and that's lovely to hear, because you do all your time at your club and you want to play for that club, and so hopefully that's not the last we see of him. And again, Alves, I thought, had a great 20 minutes. His ability on the ball, was brilliant.
Yes, I mean you do not let those guys go. I mean, if we don't buy anybody, Popov is a very good, he was tall, he looked tall, he was a very good option. And you know what? Do you remember when we played Forest? No, we didn't. We played Watford a few seasons ago in the FA Cup. Yeah. And for some reason, whether it was post-COVID or whatever, but we didn't have many senior players available. We put all the youngsters in and we beat Watford 4-1 or something like that, or 3-0. And then we played Forest the following week, brought all the senior players back, and they stuffed us 4-0. And sometimes you just want the exuberance of youth to say, I ain't scared of doing this.
Yeah, and not only that, you've got the exuberance of youth, but also the experience. So you cannot use the excuse with these two in particular that, oh, I'm sorry, you've not got experience yet. You've got to wait your turn. These guys have played at really senior levels. And, you know, like Alex Ferguson would say, if you're good enough, you're old enough. Like, you're just going in. I would just really like to see, for me, Cooper move away from Wilf and favour Skip with Winks. And then I'd like to see.
I mean, I did feel like the over domineering father the other day in your ex chat with Brad. You were back at each other, and I'm like, now, children, come on.
If Wilf was what he used to be, I'd have no quibble at all. But he's just not, and I want to see Ricardo back in the frame a bit, really, to be honest.
Yes.
But we'll see. They're the kind of, you know, from what I understand from seeing some of the other player interviews, Ricardo's a real level head on who people go to for advice. So I think you need some of those personalities on the pitch. He took his vice captaincy really seriously last year, and it's brought him on a bit as a sort of a team player and that sort of senior member of the team. And you need a good balance of it throughout, really. But yeah, I feel much more comfortable. I think Cooper will feel happier, which is most important, because it must be difficult coming in thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do here. Is that right?
He's already put a couple of comments on, and I thought I'm going to wait until he writes about Wolf, because I know he's going to. But
yeah, so we'll see. But I'm excited. But the number 9 eludes us, but it eludes a lot of people. Just because they've signed Smodic, it doesn't mean it's going to work.
No. I mean, look, I do get what you are saying with Ndidi. I think as a squad, I mean, we've signed him. He signed a new contract, and you know, I think as a squad player, you know, if you need somebody to come on and just maybe hold things up or just change things around, I mean, he's a good option to have off the bench. But I agree with you. For me, it's Skip and Winks are the two.
Yeah, and I can imagine they've played together for a good while at Spurs as well. They'll probably know each other really well.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So and Skip looked really comfortable on the ball. He looked really settled straight away in his first few minutes against Fulham. Yeah, so we've just got just a bit of bedding in now. That's always a challenge for a manager, isn't it? Cooper's got a bit of bedding in to do, seeing where everybody fits, keeping everybody happy, keeping Vardy fit, because he is going to be the only striker for the short term until Daka returns. So it's just managing that. But I don't think we're lacking firepower. We might be in the traditional sense, but there's goals in the peripheral there. There's plenty of goals in that peripheral.
Yes. And it's strange, isn't it? When you play Mavididi where he should be played and Ayew where he shoshould be played, it kind of works.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know Ayew had that in his locker until Tuesday night, to be honest.
I got a message off Richard Eagle-Eyed Football. He did the show with me telling, giving us the lowdown on Ayew. And the funny thing was, I think I may have said to you that the thing he said was, what he'll do is he will always get you that foul. If you're under a bit of pressure and you just need to sort of, a break, he'll go down and he'll get you that foul that will, give you that bit of time and give you that break. First thing he did when he came on the pitch, first touch, went down, got a foul. And then obviously scored that goal, and he messaged me saying, told you you'd love him. And I think if you look at the club and see that they are sorry to see somebody go, that always looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and obviously we're all wary of his age, but I just think we're moving into this era now, and Jamie Vardy's a bit of an exception, so we can't really mention him. But we're moving into this era now where people like Jordan Ayew are coming to the end of their career, but for the whole of their career, they have had nutritionists, dietitians.
Yeah.
These ice chambers that they go in. They've had the Rolls Royce treatment of looking after their body. You wouldn't have got that in the era of, say, like Rio Ferdinand's and Jovicic's. Like, you wouldn't have got that. But he's had probably his whole career where he has completely bubble wrapped his body and treated it like a pedigree racehorse. And I think that is starting to bear fruit in that when you get to your early to mid 30s, the age isn't as impactful as it once was. I think you're going to be lucky to get to late 30s like Vardy, but you don't fall off a cliff like you seem to really do 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, no, definitely. And where would you see this guy fitting in? Would you see, I mean, who would you drop for him, knowing that he's an attacking midfielder?
I I think he's probably going to be challenging for the Buonanotte position, isn't he?
Yes.
I don't know what sided player. He's obviously right-footed, but I don't know whether he likes to cut inside or not. So you could also see him perhaps being used instead of Fatawu, maybe at times. It just depends, really. I presume he prefers playing down the middle.
Yeah.
But I think you'll have Winks obviously closer to the back line and just tidying up. I think you're going to have Skip as the industrial, get you out of trouble, but also feed it through like Drinkwater used to do.
Yes.
And then you're going to have this guy, hopefully, as an option. And who knows, he might even be able to play further up. He could be a high 8 or a 10. What I mean?
Skip against it was Tranmere. Let's be honest with you, wasn't the big, the hardest opposition, but he did get forward.
Yeah, he did get forward. I think Cooper does instill that. I've seen that come through a bit with Cooper, that as soon as we get possession, unless it's just a no-go, we do try and pass it forward, which is obviously different to what we're used to with Enzo. Like, as soon as you won it, no matter whether you were deep in your own half or in the opposition, it just always got passed back to Yannick to start the process. And it was very repetitive, and it did work, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it wasn't always the best option. Whereas I feel this side has been told, look, have a look round, turn and see if you can go. And I think that's going to be the quick turnover, the quick transition, which we all love to see. It's exciting for the fans. We're quite a good counter-attacking team. Hopefully this guy's got some pace as well. So he could really break things up in the middle for us and get the ball off Skip and Winks and just, thread it through to whoever. Because we know Fatawu can cut inside and wants to go in the box. We always know Mavadidi does because he likes to be the showman. Yeah. And then hopefully when Vardy plays, he'll also be an option. But I'd love Alves to get more involved. I'd love Potos to get more involved.
But the thing is, though, it's good that we're getting these players and we don't just have to throw them in. We're not that, like a bit like when Luke Thomas, and I know he was one of our own, but so, when you get players that you have to throw in, sometimes like Fofana goes in and after 2 games, it's like he's been there, 10 years. Yeah. And others, like Sumare, whatever, they take a hell of a lot longer to bed in. So it's good that these players that are coming along don't have to just sort of get in and get us out of trouble. They can bed in.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're still only game week 3 now. We're not at panic stations where it's a January window and we need to avoid a scrap. We're obviously in that mindset a bit just because we're worried about what's to come, but we're starting afresh still. We're mid-table. But they hopefully, Steve can pull on his experience and really mould these youngsters into producing for us, really, and producing for the Premier League and the English football.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate. Look, it's past, and I know you've only got an hour, so you need to eat and what have you. But thank you very much for coming on and giving us your thoughts. Brad's ready to come in, so I can let you go. Thank you very, very much, and I will see you hopefully pre or post match.
Yes,
tomorrow.
Pre-match tomorrow. You purposely kept me and Brad separate because we're squabbling siblings at the moment.
It is exactly. I don't think I could bear. Well, if you want to stay.
No, it's fine. We might get a bit heated.
Well, I did think I would have to keep you apart.
He started it.
Yeah. I thought, you're worse than my 4 kids. You know what I mean? Have a good rest of the day. Go and get something to eat and get back to work. And I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Right, Brad.
She started it.
Yes. Honestly, I was watching it. It was just going on, and I thought, "What the hell? What the hell?" Look, we've got him. It doesn't look like we're going to have any. Well, it depends. Sky's saying nobody else is due in. Mercury, who aren't the best, most reliable source, are saying that we could be getting this Egyptian striker in. And as I said to Kate, I just hope he's not part of a pyramid scheme. That was a better response than I got from Kate. I'm not.
I've not woke up, so my brain isn't receptive to your shit jokes.
Don't say that. You like that one. But thanks for coming on. I thought you'd be working, which is why I hadn't invited you. I didn't think you would be home yet. But your thoughts on this guy, 20-odd million?
Looks exciting prospect. It's kind of the old Leicester mantra way. Yank, seem very, very sad to have lost him. Very high praise posts they've put on social media since the move went through last night. Look, he already has more decent medals than Harry Kane has since he's moved. So, a bronze Olympic medal, he's 20 years old, Chris, and he's already doing, really well for himself for he's such a young lad in a career, and he's very versatile, something we like. This is what you could say since that 2015-16 miracle season has been the Leicester way of doing it. I mean, I'm going to say something very controversial here, Chris, and people
That's
need
not
to
like you.
I know, but people just clear your ears. Just make sure you can hear what I'm saying properly here. This doesn't go to everybody, but this goes to a few handful of people or more.
I know. I think I know.
Great work, Rudkin. Now, you heard me right. I praised Rudkin because you're all so easy to go, it's Rudkin's fault that I didn't get me dinner at 1 o'clock. It's Rudkin's fault that the post was late. It's Rudkin's fault for this. But when a good transfer comes through with a great prospect and a 4-year deal, and someone who kind of fits the mantra that you've mentioned with Skip and Ayew that want to be at this club,
yes,
Chris,
yep.
Where's the praise for the man who sat down and got it done and dusted?
It's
only great job Leicester, isn't it? You know what I mean?
But I put the post up from Sky when they said that they're not expecting any more signings in today. And obviously, I'm thinking, look, we need a striker. We really need a striker. Ayew got a great goal the other night. But somebody had a go at Rudkin. Oh, we've got to get Rudkin out. And I sort of said along the lines of, look, he's playing up front against Villa on Saturday. We can't get rid of Rudkin. You know what I mean? But did I hear right? They were chanting Rudkin out against Tranmere.
I was having too much of a good time, mate, to care what some silly idiots were shouting. Because if you're shouting that, then you just got no life. It was a good game. It was a game that, to be honest with you, it was a game for the few that don't have a membership, that couldn't get tickets to a Leicester Villa game or won't get to a game this season. I enjoyed it, mate, funny enough. I had a great time. I predicted 3-0. I got 2 goal scorers. We had a wonderful time. And I don't know why you go to a match just to go out your way to spend 90 minutes shouting someone out,
Yes.
I didn't hear it personally, Chris.
I wouldn't obviously as much on the TV, but it was just something that I heard that was being mentioned.
There probably was some idiots around there chanting that.
I mean, I was talking to Kate, and I said, for me, look, I've been very critical of Jordan Ayew and Dakova Reed, not of anything other than the fact that we were buying older players, but as somebody said, Ipswich are buying all these youngsters up, Schmodic and what have you, no experience. We're buying players that have got that experience, but then we throw in the likes of, Buenete, El Khannouss, etc., Golding, Akoli. We've got, it's a mix, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the perfect balance. Yeah, you need to mix, and I nearly did a little potential YouTube short for you, Chris, yesterday. I was out walking with the family dog Bentley, and I was listening to Steve Cooper's press conference. Now anyone who knows this channel well, and if you're new, Chris knows very well. It's the reason I did the stats, the tactical side of a show when we do like a post match show, like either on the day or the day after. It's because I'm really interested in what you could probably call the nerdy side of things. I listen to press conferences, I watch training videos, I watch pretty much all the videos that most people don't watch. Let's face it, after extended highlights and highlights of a win, no one really cares, do they? If we're being honest. But I listened to his video, Chris. Now, I'm guessing because it was a transfer sort of special, it was 25 minutes long. The average one's normally about 15 minutes on a normal match day. Obviously, a lot of repeated questions, if you will. But I implore any of you, if you're still on the fence or you're still feeling a little bit like Marmite about Cooper, go listen to it. You don't have to take a dog for a walk like I did to do it, but it is 25 minutes long. But listen to the way he answers the questions and how he actually just, yes, naturally, some of the answers he gives to a point are very generic, and every manager would answer them that way or start to answer that way. But he genuinely shows his intent and interest in how he's looking to build this squad and his feelings on the squad, his feelings on players that he gets asked about. And he's very straight up and honest. And I think it's very refreshing because we've had managers that either don't say a lot or they say the generic answers. You know, Brendan Rodgers, you know, very repetitive in his, you know, his training videos as well as his press conferences. And then I think Powell didn't really say a lot on his too much because of the language barrier, maybe, but still, he's very open, honest, upfront, and such a lovely bloke to ask questions to get an answer from. He's not one of them that if you ask him a question he doesn't want to answer or can't answer, he just goes, "No, not answering that." He says he had one question, Chris. I think about halfway through it, where he goes, "I don't know." And he goes, I said, "I don't want to sound like I'm dodging the question or anything. I just genuinely, I do not know." He was honest. He said, "I do not know. Given the question you're asking me, I do not know." Go and watch it. And like I said, I know it's a longer one because it was a transfer one that they obviously did a couple of days ago. But he talks about the squad, what the plans is for the transfer window. That's probably the best idea you're going to get about prior to this deal happening, where Leicester and him were set on transfers for the remainder of the next couple of days. Because again, this was obviously filmed prior to his signing, and he also has a lovely mention about Casey McAteer's international call up. Well done, Casey, on that one.
Yeah, congratulations, Casey.
Go and watch it. I implore you, because I nearly did a short video for you, Chris. I was going to record it and send it you on my walk, but then I felt better of it because who wants to see this more close up? It's bad enough.
No. I mean, always feel free, or always message me and ask, if I want to turn one of these around quickly. But yeah, I think when you look at some of these signings, like I say, individually, you question them. But like I say, Jordan Ayew, it's funny, isn't it? At the midweek, we played Mavididi on the left, and we played Ayew in the centre, which is where they should be played, and they played well. It's funny that, isn't it? You got to play where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, it is. But this is the joys of having a couple of players that you see or are very versatile. Some would say it's not the most ideal time, but when you've kind of just brought a player through the door and you want to get him minutes under his legs, because there's a stupid international break about 3 games into the season, which is still ludicrous to me, and B, you want to get minutes into the legs. It's kind of the chance to kind of go with the flow and see what happens with that, Chris. If you're being honest, and for me, I mean, I saw a tweet. I don't know if you saw it, but a Palace fan had quoted a Leicester man's tweet who said, "Oh, I didn't know Jordan Ayew had that in the bag," and he replied a little bit tongue in cheek with his tweet saying, "If I knew he had that in his locker for us, I wouldn't have drove the taxi down to the King Power for him." For sake. So he obviously doesn't do that very often, but it was a great.
In fairness, Rich, like I say, from Eagle-Eyed Footballer, I'd been speaking to him about him and told me about the fact that he goes down to get good, to get free kicks and break play up or what have you, which he did as soon as he came on the pitch. But he messaged me after the game and he went, "Told you you'd like him." So fair play to him.
Chris, he did that as well. He won us some very good free kicks in what was a very stubborn first half. Again, another big shout out to Tranmere. Their following was fantastic.
Yeah,
they were singing non-stop, like a good old-fashioned away crowd, Chris. They were. They're a very good crowd.
I mean, it's done as well. I think, like we said, we have to take into consideration that it was a League Two side here. We should have won it, and we should have won it comfortably. So we did what we should have done. But look, this is Leicester, and we know banana skins and Leicester City don't go together, do they?
No, they don't. And it was banana skin. I mean, it's a shame we couldn't get Derby County next round. Oh, sorry, they went out. Sorry, I forgot about that.
They did on penalties, didn't they?
Yeah, they went out on penalties. And you know what, Chris? people will, and naturally will all sit here and go, yeah, we won 4-0, but it was only Tranmere. Well, let me tell you this. Which team do you feel better for being in concern? Which team are you more concerned about after the first 3 matches they've played this season? I'm going to go through some teams and who they played and results. Leicester played Tottenham, drew 1-1. Leicester played Fulham, lost 2-1. Leicester played Tranmere, won 4-0. Ipswich Town played Liverpool, lost 2-1. Ipswich Town played Man City, lost 4-1. Ipswich Town played AFC Wimbledon, lost on penalties. Now, I would say, okay, Ipswich Town, you got 2 very difficult games out of the way. That's fairs.
Yeah.
But in terms of getting your confidence back and trying to get, just a win under your name, isn't it? That's the one thing you want. And that's one thing Steve Cooper's now shaking off. He's got his first win as Leicester manager. He would have loved it to have been against Tottenham or Fulham, I'm sure. But McKenna's Ipswich side have yet to win a game, and they've just lost to a League 2, I believe, opposition.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I said this. Yes, look, it's having watched that performance, and I think okay, like you say, we're not going to get that every week. We're not going to be playing a Tranmere every week, and we're not even going to be playing a Tottenham every week who don't bother marking your number 1 striker when he walks into your penalty box. But look, it is what it is. But the confidence that will give the squad, and then come along and say, look, mate, we've made a new signing as well, attacking midfielder. The confidence around the place going into Villa, and the Villa fans are very confident they can do one over on us. But I think that was just perfect for us.
Yeah, I think when we have sides that come, it's, again, we're only 2 games into the Premier League season, Chris, and so far that would suggest that that's how the season might go. Tottenham came out as, minus the Spursiness in them, we're probably still going, I know we're a bit nervous because it's us, but we should beat Leicester and we should beat them comfortably, and then look, we go and get a point. We got a very good and well-deserved point. And then we played Fulham and it was a bit more, I'm afraid we'll lose to you. Well, we're afraid we'll lose to you. You could be up with us this season if you have a good season and and the game didn't go in our favour. We play a Villa side that are going, newly promoted Leicester, we should smash these, Tillemans, everybody's going to come around. We beat them 3-0, played really well in opening 2 games, was unlucky against Arsenal. So, give us a nice 3 points going into the international break. And we're starting going, we've got nothing to lose. And that has worked for us in the past, Chris. When the pressure's off them, we've always said it's also been a mentality that ever since we've been underdogs, and that was probably way before my time as well, we were called underdogs, but I remember in the 90s, when we were making Wembley trips year on, year out, we were top 10 finishers. When we played a side that we had no chance against, we'd go and beat them. We'd draw 3-3 with Arsenal. When we were supposed to beat Barnsley away, we'd struggle over the line, you know what I mean? So who knows, Chris? And again, it's always going to be a tough season, but I'm here to enjoy it. And this is a sort of transfer, Chris, that can really add to that.
I think I've got to the point now where I don't worry so much. I just enjoy it for what it is. And like I say, we may be in the pit lane, but we're in the race. So let's at least enjoy that. I've got to say, congratulations, Ben Nelson might be moving to Oxford on loan, but him, Baybrook and Alves are all in the England under-20 squad for the 2 games against Turkey and Romania next week. So good luck to all of them. Baybrook is he's already gone to Dundee United. And they're saying Alves who could move out on loan today. I mean, I think Alves is ready for the first team. He's proved that to me.
Yeah, but again, if you listen to Cooper's interview, and I'm going to give you a little insight.
I don't have to because I've got you to do that for me, bro.
I know, but I'm going to give those a little insight that I either don't want to watch it or will go and watch it. He got asked that sort of question about potential ins and outs.
Yeah.
And he basically said the young players that we have in the squad, they need to develop. They need to be playing football. And if we don't feel that they're going to get the correct amount of game time here for us, then we will, basically he was saying, he was hinting at maybe the likes of the players you just mentioned, they have the potential to play, but they're not going to play as much football as they need to be playing at their age.
Yeah.
They need to be playing regular football. They need to be playing, near enough every game week. And if I don't feel that I can offer them what they deserve to be getting, then we need to be looking to get them out the door.
Good
And I
point.
don't know, Chris, if this is a rule that no longer exists. Someone might be able to tell me this, but I'm pretty sure the loan window is another couple of weeks after the actual transfer deadline. I think loan market has got it's like an extra week on it. I might be wrong. That might have changed, but I
It
don't
used
think
to be,
we need
certainly
see 4 or
used to
5
be,
players
yeah.
going out.
But no, I mean that, and I appreciate, when you do, look at these videos, and you can come back with details like that, because they're just showing. Remember that Ramsdale save against Leicester?
Yeah, correct.
They're just showing that again on Sky. No, it's a very, very good point. I just hope, and I know they haven't done this with Raybook, but when you've got a player like Alvis, and I get what he's saying, and it's a very sensible way of looking at it, Steve Cooper. But can we have the deal where we can bring them back? Like we did with Barnes, was it, from West Brom? Where yes, he was out on loan, but when we needed him, we could go. Oh, we need like Cashaday the other, with Chelsea. Now I don't think we have with Raybook, but I hope we do with Nelson and Alves. But it's looking to be a decent squad. Well, before we come back on to now, you don't say Buenetti, so I don't know how you're going to get on with this one. El Khannouss.
Moose the caboose. That's how I remember it.
But I forgot what I was going to say now. What did I say just before that?
Oh, I don't know, Chris.
I don't know. Probably talking some chatting shit, I guess. But no, that was it. Yes, that was it. It's come back to me. I didn't think we'd been making this many signings, because with everything that's hanging over us, I thought, we might have to just bring a load of loanees in and, play a couple of the youngsters. So I think I'm very, very pleased with the window.
Yeah, I am very pleased with it. And again, Chris, I think that was, that was a lot of people's worry that, you're not like, it's not like we can hide it and pretend it's not happening. We're talking to these players, and they know that, yes, okay, they're coming to a Premier League side, which sounds great on paper, but you're coming to a Premier League side that, if they don't get off to a reasonably good start, could be in serious trouble before the halfway point of the season. Now, I would like to think the squad we've got on paper is more than capable enough to keep us in and around the mix. The longer this points deduction goes on, the more, and I'm going to put wood why I say this, the more hopeful I am that it's not actually as bad as maybe we were feared, because it's fearmonger. The press are going to do it. I mean, Everton were getting a minus 400 points deduction before it got whittled down to 10 and then whittled down to 6 on an appeal. Again, we could still get stung that way, but my point is, Chris, they got theirs at the start of the season. They got dished theirs out. So that sort of set the benchmark that for me, that tells fans, right, if it's really serious and it's a lot of points, you're going to get straight away. So I don't.
Thought they got theirs towards the start of the season, start of January.
No, they got theirs pretty much bang on the start of the season. They were minus points going into
maybe
it.
Maybe it was with the appeal and everything going through.
Look, got theirs at the midway point.
I was speaking to a Southampton fan last night on Matchday Vlogs, Jack, and is it still 2 lots of 6? Is it 12? Look, we don't know. We can guess. It's going to happen. There's no point worrying about it until it does. We've just got to try and amass as many points as we can. And look, at the last 2 games, if you'd have said we'd have come out with a point from those 2 games, I would have said we'd lost to Spurs and got a point off Fulham. But the difference for me, and I've said to you as well, between Fulham and us, is you were looking at Fulham with a team where the manager's been there 2 seasons, they're settled, and they've got a settled squad that if A passes to B, he knows exactly where B is going to be or B is going to run into. We haven't got that yet, and that was the difference for me between the two sides. And obviously, that's going to get better as we play more games.
Yeah, of course it is. And you did see that throughout the two games. It was misplaced passes. I mean, Paul Christensen must have not put his contacts in that game because he couldn't pass to a blue shirt for the majority of it. But this is going to happen. And it did happen against Tranmere at times. We kind of couldn't make a pass or the pass, the telepathy that we've seen with some connections throughout the years, like Vardy, Mahrez, Drinkwater, Vardy, etc., wasn't quite there. They weren't quite on that same page or wavelength either. But like again, it comes in time. It comes in more training sessions. And Leicester aren't just behind the 8 ball in terms of their financial situation and impending points deduction. They've been behind the 8 ball since they hired the manager because he took weeks to get through the door. Players then have come in bulk, haven't they? We made like 4 or 5 signings in like the first month, which was vital. You need to get some signings through the door early. They look a little bit more settled. But then you've had Brunette, Ayew, and Khannouss Caboose. That's his name now, Chris, from now on. Khannouss Caboose. Who have come in at the latter end of the transfer window, and they've not had any time to gel. I mean, we literally made sure, great job by Rudkin to get the paperwork done on time, by the way. We made sure Ayew was able to come to Leicester, be announced, but still be ready to play on the Saturday. And he came on and, I mean, he probably shouldn't have taken a free kick, but he won the free kick that on another day has potential to get you a point from a game or win you a game. So, yeah, if we can get through not just the bore of the international break, we can get through the likes of Villa, Southampton, and that in the next like 3 or 4 games, and we pick up a varied amount of points. Obviously, like chuck a win or 2 in there. I think we'll do all right this season with the squad we've got when they're more up to speed as well, Chris.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, going back to El Khannouss. Now, look, when I was speaking to Kate, we were talking about it being Brunette, Winks, and Skip. Now, we're obviously going to have Brunette, Winks, and Ndidi in there because you're to be the petulant child. If he plays, I mean, obviously, not necessarily going to be a starter. We've got him in time, as it happens. We've got him in time for this weekend, so he could play. We might even see him in the squad. Who does he come in for, if you see him, or do you not see him playing one of those 3 roles?
I don't know, because obviously he is an attacking midfielder, and Cooper likes to go for a 4-2-3. So, wait, is that enough players? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Have you included a goalkeeper in there? Because don't on me.
7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it is. A 4-2-3 is right, isn't it? Yeah, my maths is yeah. Anyway, no, it's not.
No, it's not. You're one short.
Well, he goes for
4-3-3. 4-3-3, I think, is the formation he likes to play. Or it's a 4-2-1. No, 4-2-3-1, isn't it?
That one.
Yeah.
4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1, yeah.
So for a fact that Kate's favourite and my favourite, Wilfred Ndidi, is going to be playing. For a fact that Harry Winks is going to be playing because they're the defensive-minded players, Chris. They're the more experienced defensive-minded players. I don't think. I mean, he has potential to play all 3 or all of them, doesn't he? Really, because you could then put someone either it's either going to be Brunette or Skip in that one position. I would imagine it's for Villa. He's going to want to put in. I don't know, because Villa like to go on a high press, so he might want to put Brunette in there to expose them through the middle of his pace, and then El Khannouss will play along. Potentially plays along in the forward role. I don't know.
I guess the good thing is, I mean, he's older than. Sorry, mate. It's to talk over you. He's older than Brunette, but Brunette's got the actual Premier League experience. But it's great that we've bought a player and we don't have to throw him in, because he can maybe just ease himself in if he is that Brunette one. And it's a bit of a strange signing. I mean, Ayasad, how you doing? He's got Bilal is a certified boiler. Congrats on landing him. Thank you very much. What do you know about him? Do you know, sort of, do tell us if you do know. Can I just say, Brad, do you get my comment below? Of all the clubs in all the leagues in all the world, he walks into ours.
I get the reference. Yes, I do. I do get the reference.
Because I had to explain it to Kate, and it kind of fell flat a little bit. But she didn't even know. She didn't get Casablanca. She's never watched the film. But look, we normally, when Cooper gets his players, we always look at these pictures, and they're always like a couple of dots because he likes players that play in a couple of different positions. Where this guy, he really does concentrate on the one attacking midfield role.
Yeah, he does. But also the best thing about his age is he can also be developed into it if necessary. And in a way, from what I've been able to see...
Sorry, just to interrupt very quickly, Brad. I think Easy Gaming is pissed a little bit here because he went with, I think he came with Greur. And then you follow that with grantees of playing first tee. So maybe he's going to play golf first. I don't know. I don't know
either. I mean,
sorry.
The thing is, from what I've been able to gather from Genk fans and the research I was able to do on the transfer, because this did continue, throughout the last couple of days. So it seemed like a more solid rumour, and Fabrizio had put a tweet out there. So that's sort of when my interest goes, okay, maybe I need to find out a little bit about this guy just in case, sort of thing. And not only is he a lot younger than the player I'm about to potentially compare him to, but he has the potential to hold that role up, which is what we'll need, regardless of whether it's Jordan Ayew or whether it's Vardy that we have leading the front line. It's someone that can run in behind and almost running next to him, Chris, because he has the pace and ability to almost remind me of the best Duracell bunny we've ever had at this club, Shinji Okazaki, Chris, who never really played up front with Vardy. I know technically he was put there in a 2, but he was always like the position you call a false 9. He was always playing just behind Vardy and just in front of the midfield, because we played a 4-4-2 back then. We didn't really play an attacking midfielder. So he kind of slotted in and filled that goal, that role, if you will. Sorry, I've just got goals on the brain, apparently. So I do feel like, even though he obviously can't put in a cross with a left and right foot, which is why he's not a left and right midfielder, he's someone that can drive through and help stretch defences with Vardy or Ayew by putting pressure on the back line to allow our midfield to press higher. Because again, if you go and watch a press conference, you'll learn that Cooper definitely wants to have 2 or 3 ways to break down teams.
Before we end it, one last transfer I just want to, just as I say before I end it, Scott pops in. Hi Scott, how you doing, mate? No, well, thank you for joining us. Sal, I just want to read this. He obviously knows him. Highly skilled technical player, incredible vision, first touch stroke pass, through balls and dribble. He can craft counter-attacks and help your team maintain possession. A bit shy to shoot, but will. I mean...
Yes, lucky then. I was right, because he didn't score many goals for us, did he? Be creative a lot.
Yeah. But I mean, look, reading that, and thank you, Sad, for that. But yeah, brilliant. Can't wait for him to pull the blue shirt on and get on the green grass.
Yeah, put him on the starting 11 for Villa, or we were riot, eh? I mean, what a glowing resume that is. That's like when you ring up a company and you're not too sure about this candidate, and then all of a sudden you hear this and you go, oh, get him in, get him through the door if that's how good he is.
There's never any guarantees, of course, because how they are with one team doesn't mean they're going to go any better when they move.
Well, yeah. And again, the difference, with the greatest respect, we all say this, and I'm sure they admit it as well, the difference in quality of leagues. And again, tough oppositions. I'm not disrespecting any of the teams there, but it's a style of play and it's a tempo that's played in the Premier League.
It is. I think sometimes we expect players when they move to. I mean, Fofana did it, and I know we hate talking about him, but in fairness, he went in and it was like he'd been here since he was 8 years old. Tomori, completely the other end, he's never really settled. And you look, if we applied that to Jamie Vardy, he would never have stayed because he was, he was awful, wasn't he? And it took him so long to bed in. Thank God we stuck with him, and thank God, they had the chats with him. But that's the any signing's a risk, isn't it? We know. And Easy's finally had a coffee and sobered up. No problem, Easy. It just made me laugh. When you're trying to correct yourself, you then needed to correct the correction. Last one I want to ask you about, Brad. It's another Wilf, not your Wilf, not your love child, but Wilfred Zaha could be going to Lyon. So obviously France don't worry about the tax as much as we do here in this country.
No, again, like I said, I think that taxing comes from the Brexit side of things. So France can make the deal without paying any tax, I believe. I could be wrong. I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't care for politics. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame. He would have been a great addition. Obviously, someone who wanted to come to us. Well, he obviously just wants to play first team football and was feeling he'd get that here. But it is what it is, Chris. I'm not going to sit here. You know what? Steve Cooper quote here. It'll be misquoted because I'm a legend for that, as someone once said on the videos, but they love it still the same. I'm not going to sit here and wonder about, we didn't get that player. I wonder what would happen if we'd have got that player. I'm not going to worry about it, Chris, because they're not here. You can't miss what you don't have.
But apparently Wilfred Zaha is actually in Lyon, so it's definitely looks like it's a goer with only 10 hours or so. No, less than 10 hours now. Was it 11 o'clock it finishes? So
yeah, so you got 9 hours and 56 minutes for any surprise.
You're watching Sky. You're watching Sky.
I'm not. I just looked at the bottom right of my laptop, mate, and worked it out.
Right, let's just very, very quickly, if I can find it, and it probably is, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. Here we go.
Coming up next on Leicester Till I Die TV.
You're back with us later, Brad, for the prediction show, week 3.
Yes, I am. It's week 3. Some have had better weeks than others. Just saying, pointing that out there. Some are still bridging that gap. But it's been a competitive first couple of weeks.
I'm a newly promoted team. That's how I'm classing myself.
Which one are you, though? You Southampton or Ipswich? It depends which one you are. Or are you a struggling Everton? I don't know. Maybe
I like to think of myself more of a struggling Everton, but we'll see. We'll see how the season goes.
Yeah, well, it's a long way off, and no one's a million miles apart already. So no one's a Man City. We've already seen some graceful falls after game week 1 that dropping 4 or 5 places down the table. So it's going good, Chris. So far, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see just how the last game week predictions go before paint drying turns up for a week.
Yes,
everybody's life.
Mind you, I'm glad at least I'm going to have a week and a bit then to put my next 5 weeks together because I'm off, so I'm going to give you my predictions for 5 weeks.
Oh, that's going to be great! I can see that now. I can just
that's just not going to be fun. I'm having to predict something for 5 weeks, and we could go on a winning run, and it's going to be. I've written this off already.
I wonder how many 2-2s you're going to put down. I've still got the tally. I'm going to keep that going.
I might just go 2-2 for every single game for the next 5 weeks. I'm going to get.
You watch not a single 2-2 happens.
Yeah, Brad. Thanks very much, mate, and I will see you back here at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, see you back here at 7 o'clock, mate. Looking forward to it. All the best.
All the best. Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. Brad at, hang on a second. What's your Twitter, mate?
It's at Full Time Focus, and obviously I have got a quiz in the writing books for anyone who likes football quizzes. I'll try and get it done for the international break, actually. That'd be good for stocking filler for you all. On LTID TV too. So yeah, check it out there and there.
I wanted to say at Fox's Focus. You've got so many different ones. I was getting them all.
Well, Elon Musk won't let you change it, will he? So
it's below. It's below in the description. Cheers, Brad. See you later.
Take care, mate.
So if you like your predictions, join us at 7 for week 3 of the Premier League predictions. It's me and him and me, and we'll be back. And that's at 7 p.m. tonight. Thanks to Kate for coming on. I hope she's had her lunch. And thanks to Brad as well. I'm off to get my lunch now. Adham, you did say any thoughts on Mustafa Mohamed? When we finish, go back and watch it. We did talk about him earlier. And gaming, look, I'd take anybody. Brozier, I mean, what happened to Fofana we were linked with? We will see. We will see. Thing is with Leicester, you never know. Anything can happen in the next 9 hours, 53 minutes and 36 seconds. But look, this has been LTID TV. I've been Chris. Thanks everybody for watching. I will be back. Good afternoon.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.